Hola, hello my friends, and welcome back to the reading of the Medium's book, a book written by Allan, Kardec, and the spirits. Today, we are going to talk about the theory of reflection. Well, what is the theory of reflection? Proofs of intelligence being recognized in the phenomena, there remained the necessity of ascertaining the source of this intelligence. Some thought it might be that of the medium, or of those present, reflecting itself, like the light, or like sonorous vibrations. The suggestion was plausible. Experience alone could decide its value. And here, let us remark that this theory is anti-materialistic, for if the intelligence of those present could thus reproduce itself, it must be admitted that there is in man a principle distinct from his organism. If the thought expressed in the communication thus made had been always that of the persons present, the theory of reflection would have been confirmed. But even in that case, would such phenomena have been of the deepest interest? Would not exerting a reflex action on an inert body and translating itself into sounds and movements be something very remarkable? Something worthy to excite the curiosity of scientific men? Why has such a subject been disdained by those who wear themselves out in searching after the properties of a nervous fiber? Experience alone could show whether the theory of reflection was right or wrong, and experience has shown it to be wrong, for experience proves, by the most positive facts, that the thought expressed may be not only alien to that of the persons present, but in opposition to it, contradicting their preconceived ideas, and disappointing their expectation. So, going back to the text, the part where I read, would not thought exerting a reflex action on an inert body and translating itself into sounds and movements be something very remarkable? That's the correct way to put it. And, well, since experience alone could show whether the theory of reflection was... Since experience alone could show that the theory of reflection was wrong, then we can understand that when he who thinks white gets black for an answer, who thinks white gets the answer black, it is difficult for him to believe that the answer comes from himself. A great point is often made by opponents of the similarity sometimes observable between the thought expressed and that of the persons in the circle. But what does this prove, if not that those present may think like the intelligence which communicates with them? It was never asserted that they are always of an opposite opinion. When in conversation our interlocutor expresses a thought analogous to our own, do you say that the thought comes from you? How again can reflection of thought explain the production of writing by persons who do not know how to write? Replies of the widest philosophical scope obtained through illiterate persons. Doesn't make sense, does it? Answers given to questions propounded mentally or spoken in a language unknown to the medium. And 1,000 other facts, leaving no doubt as to the independence of the intelligence which manifests itself. The theory of reflection can only be held by those whose observation is of the most superficial and limited character. If the presence of an outside intelligence is morally proved by the nature of the answers given, it is physically proved by the fact of direct writing. That is to say, writing produced spontaneously, without pen or pencil, without contact, and in spite of all the precautions taken to render trickery impossible. The intelligent character of such a phenomenon being undeniable, and the phenomenon must be due to something else than fluid action, and the spontaneousness of the thought expressed, often disappointing our expectation and wandering away from the questions presented, renders it impossible for us to attribute its manifestation to any reflex action on the part of the persons present. Well, the theory of reflection is particularly impolite in certain cases, as when, at a party of honorably minded persons, communications are unexpectedly produced of a coarse, frivolous, or otherwise objectionable character. It would be paying a very poor compliment to such persons to assert that such communications come from them. And it is probable that, in such a case, each of them would promptly repudiate the implication. Wow, guys, this is it for today. On the next video, I'll talk about the theory of the collective soul. I hope you guys have liked this reading as much as I do. And I'm sorry for any mistakes during the reading.